everyone. Welcome. Just invite you to listen to the beautiful sounds of the Crystal Alchemies as a few more people get to find the live. I hope you're all doing okay. These are such pivotal times that we are navigating our way through. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Nikki. It's a very wet afternoon here in Somerset, in the UK, and it just felt that it was the perfect timing to come on and just talk about the energies that are running at the moment, and to be able to work with the roses and see what insight that the roses may have for us in this really incredible time that we're working our way through. The energies have been really complex, and today I've got a little piece to read to you from my guides, and these are really, this is a pivotal week we are moving into. Not only have we got the new moon tomorrow, we've also got the moon's nodes moving sign at the end of the week, and just an incredible grand cross. The energy is really, really intense, and each one of us gets to experience this in our own unique way, in the way that is specifically set up for us and our unique soul journey, our unique pathway to mastery, to this path of what I would call sacred homecoming. This has been really my own journey, but also my own journey in my work with the roses, and obviously with my work with working with people in their spaces. It's all about navigating this pathway back in to the deepest level of self-love, self-value, self-esteem, and in understanding the pieces that we uniquely came in to alchemize, and also the gifts that we came to hone to be able to bring out into the world. And always the gifts that we hone are the ones that have taken us on the deepest journey ourselves, the deepest pathways of knowing who we are and what we've come to work with. So the journey itself is an ever deepening journey that we step forward to with courage, and particularly at this time. For the movement of the nodes towards the end of this week, They're moving from a Taurus Scorpio axis, which has been giving us a particular flavour of a journey this last 18 months. And we step into a new experience of Aries and Libra. And this is this deep connection into knowing ourselves in a new way, in our sense of relationship, our relationship to ourselves, and our relationship with others. But also, where do you need to step forward into an even more authentic voice of self? This has been certainly something that I have been really deeply reflecting on in this last couple of weeks. I've really felt the nodes beginning to get close to that tipping point, and feeling this shift within myself in really asking, what's being called for now? What is this next piece that wants to unfold? And yet we have got Venus going retrograde at the end of this week too. And she's going to be retrograde until the 3rd of September. So those of us that are very Venusian beings will be taken again on a deeper pathway of reflection, of review, of really questioning what it is that we uniquely have come to share at this time. Venus takes us into a deeper sense of self-love, self-value, self-appreciation, and an appreciation of beauty, an appreciation of connecting with the natural world. So I will read you the words that came through that will be pertinent for this time. And they say, we greet you in this portal of the new moon. This truly is the greatest opportunity of review and release of the past. To dive deep within this week will mark a turning point for many, taking them on a deeper journey of reflection and review. So the last time that the nodes moved into this particular... Sorry, my phone looks like the battery is going, which is again really interesting. But yes, so that we review and we look back to 2004 to 2006. What was happening for you, particularly around the area of relationships at that time? What was, what have you learned? What have you learned in this whole cycle that it's taken for the nodes to do this complete journey around the chart? So what was happening for you 2004 to 2006? What was significant in that time period? Because that is what's coming in again as an echo. What do you need to bring attention to? What have you learned from this experience? And what is the richness that you will take forward into this next piece? So they said, the astrology is intense and complex in bringing together the most perfect conditions to bring insights and opportunity for future visioning. So again, this new moon, new beginnings, what is it that you're feeling that is calling to be seeded? What is it that you are being called to be visionary of? I'm aware for me that there is a vision that I have had come round to me several times, and for whatever reason I haven't acted on it, I haven't activated it in previous times, but it's come round again for me to really look at it and flesh it out a little bit more and see whether it still is calling to be activated. So again, it's something that you might want to reflect on. This time to come will bring reflection of your true talents and gifts, a clarification of who you are at a soul level and the light you came to bring, to really uniquely your light. And the other piece that came as a sort of a picture for me as I was tuning in and listening to this is that, you know, for a bouquet, there has to be a bunch of roses, right? But each rose is unique. Each rose is an individual. And so what they reminded me was that it takes a bunch of roses to make a bouquet. And so therefore we are not being called to be solo travelers. We are being called to find those that really get us, really resonate with our particular note, our particular frequency as we take it out into the world. And I feel that that is really going to gather momentum as we move into this next phase, as we move through this nodal shift. And actually, I'm just going to pop my charger in so that I don't lose you all completely. Just a moment. Hang on a minute. It's being tricky. There we go. It's very interesting, isn't it, when you suddenly get a phone that loses charge. I was reminded just this week, because I've been feeling a really strong pull to go back to Rosslyn Chapel. And Rosslyn Chapel was where the three master roses came forward in the Rose Oracle. So they birthed at the Alhambra, and then I got sent, nudged loudly, to go to Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland in 2011, which was where the three master roses came forward: Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, and the Golden Flame. And I'm just really aware of these shifts in energy, the shifts in the currents, and where we are being asked to really pay attention, where we are being asked to go perhaps and pick up the other pieces in the puzzle that we are being called to review. These are such fascinating points on our journey. So shall we see what the roses have got to offer us in this portal, this new moon portal? So, interestingly, having spoken about this need to find tribe, to find the like-minded souls to journey with, we get here Rose Bagua 6. And Rose Bagua 6 is the rose that calls us into the connection with helpful friends, the connection with those who can see the vision, can see where we are visioning forward, but know that they have got a part to play in that unfolding, the part. Hi Louise, hi Hala, the part in that journey. So this rose is sort of ethereal. She's a rose that came from the Alhambra, and you can see that the light was all behind her. She was in a bed in the shadows, but it's like we can see really clearly. We can see the form when we perhaps don't have bright sunlight on us. And so therefore she's calling us to be really reflective. In the Bagua, the diagonal from this particular rose is wealth, blessings, and abundance. And what she's also saying is that the richness of the journey comes from being collaborative, from coming with like-minded connections, so that we all experience the wealth and the blessings of journeying together, that we are not out isolated on our own. You know, we can be visionaries, we can bring a vision into being, but it also requires us to find the group that want to be part of that unfolding. So let's see what the second rose is that wants to come forward today. And she is Master Rose 2. And Master Rose 2 is the Divine Feminine. And actually, if I just rock you back very slightly, you will see the Divine Feminine as she was when I painted her. Gosh, it's got to be 12 years ago now. So the Divine Feminine, curiously, in the fact that I mentioned Rosalind Chapel, is one of the roses that revealed herself when I went to Rosslyn. And you'll see that there's a sacred coding in the shield shape here that is in her center. And if you extrapolate that out, you get the triple vesica. This is a very, very powerful energy. It weaves Maiden, Mother and Crone. It weaves this Holy Trinity energy within the feminine. And she is a very rich and very full energy to work with. You can see that she's almost pregnant. She's full. She has such riches to share. And she is already starting to open, and she's opening in the form that takes us into the pentagram. You can see the movement through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a 5-pointed star. And she is a stunning energy, really recognizing the role of the Divine Feminine at this time, and also that one of the keynotes as we move through this coming time will be to bring this inner balance of masculine feminine. Many of us have really been aware that this is a very potent piece of the journey at this time, and it's an inner alchemy. It's an inner understanding, and sometimes it's the body that is actually really leading the way. I've had a lot of pain in my left leg, really understanding that the hidden message in this is to really tune in at the next level to what the inner feminine, the left being the feminine side, what the inner feminine is asking to reveal next. So, as I say, she is just such a stunning, stunning energy, and calls us into that reflection of the quality of the inner feminine, both in, for those in masculine form, or, it's not gender based. It really is this quality of nurturing. It is the quality of receptivity. How receptive are you? Can you receive? We've been very programmed, particularly as women, to give. And, can you receive? Are you open to receive? It's like the in-breath and the out-breath of God. We've got to breathe in to be able to breathe out. Yeah, it's like the water on the shore, the waves on the shore. They come in, they go out. They come in, they go out. And so to be able to receive allows us to recharge and to be resourced within, to be able to take action, which is the masculine aspect. So let's see what the third rose might be. Wow. Honestly, you can't make this stuff up, can you? It's the Divine Masculine. This is Master Rose 1. And this is Master Rose too. So here we are. We're looking at this sacred weave of these two energies. And for those that are journeying with the Rose Dragons with me will know this weave of the Ida, the Pingala, the masculine, feminine streams of energy up through the body that weave their way around the central column, the Shishana, the column of light through the body. But this balancing of the masculine, feminine, this allows for the energies of the chakras to come into balance, to come into their optimum balance energy. And this divine masculine energy that is saying, you know, that to bring everything in and then be ready to act. But in a sacred dance, in a weave between these two energies. I've not had the two of them come up together in a reading before. That's really interesting. So, the invitation as we move through this new moon is to start to look again at what the balance is in our own inner alignment, our own inner marriage. Everything is an inside job. Everything is reflected outside of what the balance is within here. And so the opportunity and the invitation is, where does my focus need to be to bring balance and harmony into my life? Balance and harmony within brings us into a place of inner peace, inner alignment, and a knowingness that we can rest within and trust the guidance, trust the alignment, trust the wisdom that is offered us for these next steps, and be able, as I say, to be receptive. Many of us that have been walking this path for the last few years are indeed very tired. There is an exhaustion that is also running. And I know several people that have also, like me, had some health challenges in this last month or so. It's like this is coming up, it's bubbling up at a deeper level for it to be seen and to be worked with and to be released, alchemized in the energy of these times, so that we are really ready and prepared. You know, these are fast-moving times. Everything is going to be moving at an epic speed. So, yeah, Hala, absolutely. And you know, there we come. The feminine is asking for deep self-care, deep honouring, deep dives into the wisdom teachings that the feminine can offer us as a recharge opportunity. Yeah, and absolutely, it brings us into mastery, because absolutely these two energies now need to be in balance. This is go, go, go. And this is way, hold on a minute, there is a deepening that needs to be, and a recharge that needs to go on here in order for this weave, that's like a lemniscape, isn't it? That weaves these two energies together. And, you know, if we go back to, I'm just going to see if I can find it to show you the third energy. So when these two energies come into optimum alignment and balance, there is a third energy that is birthed, and the third energy is the golden flame. Now, if you were looking at this from a sacred geometry perspective, it would be the two overlapping circles. Now, at the chalice well, they are one above the other, and it's that weave of heaven and earth. When you move them side by side, it is the weave of the masculine feminine. And what is created is the geometry within between the two, which is known as the vesica. And it is within the vesica that the divine child, or this pure, innocent connection to source, is created in the weave of the two. And this is the golden flame. This is the golden flame that sits on the crown, that weaves together the right and the left hand hemispheres of the brain, so that we are able to be both intuitive and logical, that we have the two qualities in balance. And this is the illumination that comes really from the pineal pituitary gland combo, and it flames from the crown. There is like a funnel, an energetic funnel that runs from the crown chakra down to the point of the pineal. And this is the golden flame. You know, often with some of the images of saints, you see this flaming light on the crown. And so this is it. This is this perfected weave. And also, of course, you will see it as the cobra. This balance, when the balance of the masculine and feminine is totally in perfected alignment, there is an illumination that arises. Yes, absolutely, says Anna. Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. And what is then birthed is greater than the sum of the parts. There is a pathway of illumined light that arises from this balance. So when we do this work, when we do this inner work, where we are honouring ourselves in the balance of the two energies, what we are able to do is to hold a greater light quotient. And if we are working with this from the weave of the masculine and feminine and the Ida Pingala streams, these currents of energy through the body, what we do is we open ourselves out to be a greater channel for source light. We raise a bioplasmic field of light up through the body as the chakras become in balance. And for some, the balance is called that the chakra becomes Christed. So this is the alignment for this time. We can't do it with just one of these active. The two need to be active. And some of you, I know, have done some of the rose work with me, and you will remember that when we douse the chakra points on the body, when we're working with the Rose 1 set, the chakra will show a preference of orientation. It will show a preference of masculine and feminine. But once the rose grid, the rose healing grid, is laid on the body and the chakras are then redoused, the chakra weaves both ways. The pendulum spins both ways. And the chakra is reminded of its optimum frequency and alignment. So, in the reading today, we have the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and we also have Rose Bagua 6 that is reminding us of the calling to community, the calling to let go of the need for being a solopreneur, a solo journeyer, that it is time now for us to be really aligned within who we are, so that we can attract and resonate with those that are of light frequency and come together. Because when we come together, we exponentially expand the potential of what we bring and the light that we bring. So I hope that's actually made some sense for you, and it's helped to keep that alignment and the imaging very, very clear. And I also have the grandmother and the grandfather alchemy bowls here this evening. ones, the weave of the wisdom keepers. And the anchoring into the Earth Star. There is an absolute calling for us to be in nature as much as possible at this time. And this is the little Koshi to help us navigate the waters of the Cancer new moon. You know, where do we need to be in flow? Where do we need to have better containment, boundaries? Water needs a container, otherwise it dissipates. It just flows to the lowest level unless it's contained. And then it can be a still reflective pool, or it can be bubbling, a bubbling stream. So pay attention to the waters within. The water makes up 70% of our bodies, actually 72% of our bodies. So perhaps be aware of self-talk. We know that from Emoto's work that memory is carried in the water. So be aware, perhaps bless the water that you are drinking every day. If you have the Rose Oracle, put the water on top of the masculine, feminine energies and allow that balancing to be absorbed at a cellular level. It only takes 5 or 6 minutes of the water in a glass on top of those two that will bring us into a different resonance as the energy from the cards is carried through a technology called epitaxy into the water, where the frequency coding transfers from one thing to another. So these are important times to be really energy aware and to honour the sacred waters within. And you might want to have a look at the work of a New Zealand lady called Veda Austin, VedaAustin, who is doing some amazing research about how the frequency of what water comes in contact with is held in the water as in her experiments, and it shows that water has a consciousness. And it's time for us now to really co-create with the elements, get really connected in with the elements of earth, air, fire and water. Mother Earth really is calling us to deepen our connection with the very building blocks of nature, and aware that the fifth element is the ether, and that weaves it all together. So, thank you so much for joining me. With much love and rosy blessings.